So here we're on the landing page of Google, and here is where again you're looking for your smart clicks. So the key to getting into Google Drive is hidden in this grid. Click on this grid. You see that here's Drive, but there are also other icons here that you're going to want to notice over time. You may find them valuable to memorize where things are, including YouTube, and you may be someone who wants to use the Google Calendar application. It's not one that I use very often. So we're going to click on Drive, and now we're in the Drive application, which is in the cloud. It's not taking up any space at all on your hard drive. And we're able to, again, you're looking for your smart clicks. What's here? My list view, things I create. What's here? Sorting options. What's here? Settings. You'll take a look at all of these things. You can get Drive for your PC. If you wanted to download it, you could. And you see here you have trash, you have things that are your favorite. Recent is always good to pay attention because sometimes you make something, you can't remember what you named it, but if you know to go and look in recent, you may be able to sort of unearth what it is that you're looking for that you put in here and you can't remember. Obviously you can work with your own photos here, your own photo library. This is for documents and other bits of content and information that have been shared with you in your Google Drive account. This is your drive. It's what's available to you. And here you can see Google has uploaded a PDF all about getting started. So if you're really completely new to Google Drive and you're someone who likes to read and you're thorough, I would definitely download this and give this a read. Now Google has shown you this is what a PDF looks like stored in Google. You see the information here. And this is what an image looks like stored in Google, downloaded into Google, or uploaded as the case may be. Now where I want you to go when you're thinking about generating content and having an alternative to Microsoft's Word and PowerPoint is to click on New, and let's look at our options. We can make a new folder, we can upload a file, we can upload an entire folder, we can create a Google document, we can create Google Sheets, which is the equivalent to Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to open that quickly so you can see what that looks like. Pretty much looks like a standard Word, Microsoft spreadsheet. Here you can see the standard editor, symbols and information, all the usual things that you would expect to see or hear that you would see in Microsoft Excel, you're going to find here within this part of the application. Now, I'm not going to actually create anything, but I wanted to show you that this is here. So I am going to close this out. Now I'm back in Drive. I'm going to go to New again, and I want to show you Google Slides is the equivalent of Microsoft's PowerPoint. It's not as extensive as PowerPoint is, and PowerPoint Mix now actually does quite a bit more in terms of generating a video and uploading video and other kinds of materials from the web. So in that regard, Microsoft is still putting out a better product with PowerPoint than Google Drive, but if you're just getting started, this works just as well to create a PowerPoint in here and to begin to create your presentations and things, content that you want to share. Again, the standard things are here. You can text box, images, shapes, tools, lines. All of these things are bits of information that you will smart click on. Now hopefully you are to the point where you understand what all of these things do. If you are not to the point where you understand what these things do, I would recommend going to a local resource in your community and taking a basic computer information course, because this is so fundamental that if you don't really understand how this works, you're going to really be behind the 8 ball. But here are the typical things that you will see. File sharing, open, new, rename, make a copy, import slides, language, download. And then I want to show you that the download feature is important because Google does give you very powerful options in terms of how you can download an image or a slide. You can download it a PDF. You can download as a scalable vector graphic. That's new. A PNG, which is a higher quality image for the web, a JPEG. And of course, you can download it as a Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. And I will say, if you are getting into delivering content and if you are coaching and you are going to use a resource like Instant Teleseminar and you want to preload a PowerPoint presentation to use in Instant Teleseminar, well, you can do that using Google Drive if you don't happen to have Microsoft Word available to you. And I will share with you that when I first got it started, I started my business on a hand-me-down laptop that a friend of mine gave me. And the version of Word that was on it was just so old. It was like a 2003, 2007 version. It was an XP software. And when that computer finally was on the verge of giving up the ghost, I was using Google Drive to make all of my documents and presentations because the XP software was becoming unstable. It was no longer being supported by Microsoft, and I just wasn't ready to buy a new computer yet. So this is really why I'm sharing this information for you. This is down in the trenches, real stuff that goes on, and I want you to know what your options are, because if you want to do an internet business, by golly, you just go ahead and do it. So here, your edit, undo, redo, copy, cut, paste, web clipboard, the usual things here. You can view your animations, the master. This is all related to a presentation. You can insert text box, images, video. They do now allow you to insert a video. That's great. I have a new computer and I do have PowerPoint now, so I don't use Google Drive as often as I used to, but I still highly recommend it. This gives you slide information, right? All about the slides in your presentation. Formatting doesn't really figure in. There are some tools here for spelling, always spell check, inserting tables, and if you need help, right? Okay, so this is what the presentation application looks like within Google Drive. I'm going to close out of that. And now I'm going to go into Google Docs. And this is where you can create, Google Docs is a text editor. Now, it's not a text editor that does not format. And I will share with you that Evernote is a text editor, just as Notepad is a text editor. So you can write text in a Notepad application or in Evernote, and you can copy and paste it, and it will appear as you have written it with the formatting intact and your creation information intact. Your fonts, the size of all of that will remain the same. Google Drive does not do that, so you need to be aware of that when you're doing editing in here. That's not a major drawback, but you should know about it. So here are the standard word formatting, text editing functions here that we hopefully are all familiar with. And so you can choose your font. There are lots of fonts to choose from. These are the most common ones. There are lots more fonts if you want them. You can just go through this entire list of fonts. So you can see that if you are wanting to write an ebook, you have everything you need in here to generate your ebook. And there are even more tools in here to help you. Now let's take a look at add-ons. This is a feature called Do More with Docs. So let's take a look and see what's here. Okay, this takes you into the store. And here are some things that you might want to bring in to your document and content creation that you can find, usually for free, in the Google Store. So that's interesting that this is here. And I have used this. I do have some wonderful finds that I've discovered in the Google add-ons and apps store. So there you go. There's that information. But this is just the basic stuff. So here you are. You just start typing. Hi, here's my ethical bribe. I hope you find the information useful. Okay, please contact me with questions. I'd be happy to help if I can. All right, very simple. So you just go ahead and write your ebook this way. And the thing that I really love about Google Docs and Google Drive is that it auto saves everything. And this still is not, I mean, it's in PowerPoint, it's in Word now, but I can't tell you the shock I went through when I was really new to using the computer and I had started writing a book, and I had gone through maybe a half day of writing, and I was so engrossed in the writing process that I forgot to save what I had written. And those were the days where if you didn't save it, you had to actually save it to, you couldn't save it necessarily to a hard drive. You also had to save it to a floppy. And something came up. I don't know whether it was a power failure, but something happened, and I lost all of that work. It was horrifying. It was really horrifying, because if any of you write, you know that there are times when you get the wording exactly the way you want it, and the concept is really clear, and losing that is just awful. It's really, really awful. It's a wound. So you're fairly safe in Google Drive. Your changes will be saved. And even with a power out, if you are on a laptop, you have some battery power, and you know that these things will be saved, but then you want to get out. You don't want to continue generating content. So here, if you're working on a report, you can go in. Here are the places where you can take a snapshot. You can bring in an image by a URL. From your albums, you can search for an image. You can upload an image. And this is a drag and drop canvas. You can choose to upload an image from your files. For instance, if I was going to do something about SmartClicks.me or Lives on Fire coaching, let me go in and see if I can find something that makes sense. You know, if I wanted to bring in an image from SmartClicks.me, you know that I'm using this as an image, and then I could just upload this very quickly in here. And the way that I can do that is just sliding it over. And you see how quickly that happens. Then I go up and I just do whatever I want to do with this image. And if I don't want to keep it, I decide it's the wrong place or it's the wrong image, then you can left click and you can cut, or you can also go over to File and you can use your edit options there. So now this again is very, very basic, but I want you to see how this works. Now I have not named this document, so I'm going to rename it, and I'm just going to rename it Demo Doc. Right? So now there's Demo Doc, and I could go back and I could move it to a folder, and I'd have to put it in a new folder. Here's where I can create my new folder, and I would put Demo Documents, right? Just for purposes of this video tutorial. Create, and now this folder will now have my little test document inside of it. So this is how quickly you can finish this up. And then if I wanted to save demo doc, it's been saved. I could download it as a Microsoft Word document. I could download it as a PDF. I could even save it as a web page and share it. Now let's talk about the sharing options. Google Drive also lets you share, and it lets people comment. Oh, I so hate the border boundaries on my software, Microsoft. I really hate it, but I'm not going to worry about it. I keep complaining about it, but I don't have time to fix it. If you want other people to comment on your document because you're editing it and other people need to share an input, well, you can do that here. You can add comments. You can open a comment thread, and now this is my comment, and I'm typing in good start, right? Okay, that's my comment. But you can ask other people to, and then when you see a little mark like this on your document, you know that someone has shared, and you click on it, and then you'll know who shared it and what they had to say. You can reply, and if it's an issue, an editorial issue that needs to be resolved, you have the opportunity to do that here. Now, you can invite people, right, to edit directly. Edits become suggesting or just viewing and printing a final, reading and printing a final document. And here are your share options. You can generate a shareable, a clickable link. So here's the sharing link to this document. You can also type in the names of someone that you wanted to share this document with. I'm just going to email it to myself. Take a look. Now, here are the permissions. So this person can edit, this person can comment, or this person can only view. And you choose what you want them to do, okay? And I'm just all over the place with my things that I don't need right now. So bye-bye. Okay, so that is what you can do. And then you click send, and I'm nowhere near the borders, guys. Why are you popping up? You can click send, and that information is then shared with one person. All right, so this is what Google Drive can do for you. I strongly recommend taking it for a test drive. You may find that it becomes a really, really valuable resource for you. Let's click on more. You can do forms, drawings. You can find map locations and insert them, and you can connect to more apps. And again, this takes us back into the App Store, and there may be all kinds of things that you will find are really just perfect for you. Okay, so that is Google Drive. I hope you have found this information useful. And of course, you can escape this application by going back to the grid and choosing to go to another Gmail Google application, to your calendar, or anywhere you need to go, or you can just click on the tab and you're out. Okay, that's it for this demo on how and why you should be thinking about and using Google Drive in your startup back office as you're beginning to create content and build your first funnel, especially as it will help you build your list.